All right, hey y'all, welcome back. So if you're thinking about building wealth for the future, one of the most important things when you choose an employer is the benefits package. And of course, we're all going to look at the vacation, the salary, time off, parental leave, health, dental, vision, but don't forget about the retirement plan. Now, most businesses have switched to a defined contribution, something like a 401k, but in many cases, they contribute to that plan as well, matching or maybe doing 50% of what you do. And it is one of the easiest ways to build wealth. So today we're going to talk a little bit about a 401k, and I'm going to run through a couple of quick examples here of just how powerful it is to have this setting aside money for the long term and that free money you get from your employer. All right, so if you're new to the channel, please click that subscribe button. Be sure to mash the like button. It really helps me with the YouTube algorithm. But if you're not self-employed and you're looking at employers, then many of them offer some kind of retirement plan. Typically, that means that you can choose to invest in something like a 401k. And it means that they will, I want to say, usually match you. Now, there's a couple of different retirement methods. One would be a 401k, one would be a Roth IRA, and the primary difference between them is where you're taxed. In a 401k, you're getting tax advantages now, so it's reducing your taxable income. Your investments grow, and as long as you don't touch them, they're not taxed, but when you take it out, you're taxed at that time. Roth IRAs are the opposite. You're putting in after-tax dollars, which means when you get it out, it's tax-free later on. But what we want to focus on today is the employee contribution portion of it. Now, because these are defined by the tax code, of course, the government wants to not have people put all of their money into these things, right? So they do put some limits on it. Currently, individual employee contribution is capped at $19,500 per year. If you're under 50 years old, if you're over 50, it can go up to $26,000, which includes what's called a catch-up contribution. You can put in more money to make up for not hitting the limit in a previous year. But what we want to do is I want to run you over here to bankrate.com. I will give you a link to this actual calculator. It's super, super powerful and really fun to go play with. But the whole point of my channel is for you to believe that you can retire wealthy. That especially if you're younger, if you've got time on your hands and you're making smart decisions, as long as you put money away and you honestly just kind of forget about it, it will grow to sometimes massive incomes. And that's what we want to talk about. And that's what I want you to begin to believe, that as someone who lives in a free capitalistic, a free market society, you have the opportunity to build really substantial wealth for retirement. All right, so let's switch over to Bankrate real quick and take a quick look at this. And what we want to do is I'm going to start off saying that you're allowed to contribute up to 4% of your salary to this 401k. That your salary is $40,000 a year, which is about $20 an hour. We're not going to assume any salary increase. Say you're 20 years old and 65 is your planned retirement. So it's looking at that long-term view I keep talking about. You've got nothing started. Annual rate of return, this is what your investments are going to do. Most of the time, the stock market is somewhere between 7 and 10%, let's say. Over the long term, 8% might be slightly conservative, but it's probably pretty fair to start with. And we're going to assume down here the employer match is 0%. You're going to end up at age 65 with $644,876. And in a world where a lot of people reach retirement and have nothing, that's pretty substantial, but you're not going to be drinking champagne every day off of that. So let's go down here and assume that your employer matches you 50 cents on the dollar. All of a sudden, you're knocking on $1 million at retirement. And that's free money. That's over $300,000 of extra money that is completely free to you. So let's assume a couple of other things just to show you how rosy this could be. Let's say you get, I don't know, a 3% annual salary increase. Your employer match is still 50%, but let's say many places have like a 6% contribution. So you keep your finances under control and you put more into your retirement. All of a sudden, $1,878,014. Now, there's a lot of assumptions in here to make this happen, but let's do this. Let's say it's 4% from you, and let's say your employer contributes 100%. There you are, $1,878,002. So the point is that use the free money that's made available to you, okay? This is your employer contributing and not coming out of your salary. This is extra, and they're taking the risk of actually sending it to you, right? But it makes a massive, massive difference in how much you'll have at retirement. And as hopefully you move up in your career, hopefully your salary increases, you're going to have other investments. You're going to have savings. You're going to have other investments that you're going to move into, which is only going to pad this. I believe, and I want you to get from this, that it is possible in America, Canada, Europe, free market economies to build wealth by the time you retire. If you start early enough and you use the tools that are available to you, waiting just 1 year can make a massive difference in what you have at retirement. So start right now as soon as you can, clear up your budget, begin putting in, even if it's just 1% of your salary, move it up in the future, but use time to make it work for you. So I hope this helps. I'd love to hear from you. Leave me a positive comment below.